So if you're smarter than most people when it comes to working out, you know that your ability to build muscle and strength isn't just going to rest solely on how hard you work or the scientific mumbo jumbo behind your latest workout program. It comes from progression. How well are you training, and are you training better over time? Naturally, when it comes to talks about progression or progressive overload or however you want to call it, lots of people focus a lot on adding either volume, repetitions, more sets, more time holding an isometric, or weight or resistance, which correlates to what really matters, which is how much tension is in the muscle. And these, of course, are our bread and butter for progressing how hard your muscles are working, but there's a serious downside in pursuing both or either of these, because each of them also impose an exponentially larger amount of stress and strain on your body, particularly your nervous system, your mental focus and motivation, and on your joints. So when our focus is, I want to do more, or I want to just constantly go heavier, or a combination of the two, it's kind of like playing a chicken race against how much stress and abuse your body can handle before you break and hopefully make the gains you're looking for. There are so many other ways you can make progress and have progressive overload against your muscles without adjusting these two things. And we're going to share some of these for you today so you can make progress and not necessarily just stress the hell out of your body and end up with broken knees over time. So the basic name of the game here is what I like to call technical erosion. Basically, how is your technique and your ability to do the exercise eroding as you fatigue? And we're fighting against that. So the first thing you can do is just pay attention. If you could do like 10 repetitions, for example, what's different on a technical level between your first couple of repetitions and your last repetition? Whatever those changes are that you notice, try to eliminate or at least minimize those changes to make your repetitions better. One of the most common culprits is range of motion. So if we're getting a full lift with our pull-ups and we start to notice we're not coming quite as high on those last reps, or even just in your reps in general, you can make progress by coming up all the way and increasing that range of motion in the latter repetitions of your set. Body position and control is another one. So we start off and we're getting things nice and tight with our ring push-ups, and then after a while we start noticing this winging motion in our elbows, and these can be very subtle. It can be from going from here to here, and it's something that you may not necessarily see, but you should be able to really feel. So you want to be super strict about how technically perfect you can make your repetitions and how much you're eroding over time. Emphasizing control can also be about speed or the tempo that you're setting. So you could be doing an exercise that's smooth and controlled throughout, but at the end you feel yourself kind of bouncing or trying to just get out of that difficult position as quickly as possible. Trying to really hone in on the control and not trying to compensate with any changes in body position is another area you can make a lot of progress in developing strength without adding tedious repetitions. Tension control can be another aspect to pay attention to. So as I'm doing my knee tucks here, feeling it very much in my abs, keeping my glutes tight, all is hunky-dory. But as the tension of my abs decreases and I start to get that arch in my back, now it feels like it's all in my hip flexors and in my lower back. And while I can continue doing these repetitions, I know the muscles just aren't working the way they should. So at that point, we can stop, shake out, and try to engage those muscles proactively to a much higher degree. And the more you can do that, the better your reps will become. Now, I know these progressive variables aren't quite as easy to quantify like weight and reps, but they don't need to be. When you are really improving that range of motion, your control, your tension control, and things like that, you're gonna certainly feel a very big difference in the quality and the strength of your techniques. And as a bonus, the more you improve those subjective variables, the more you're gonna find that adding the weight and adding the repetitions is going to be a heck of a lot easier. In fact, when people are saying I'm stuck in a plateau, it's those subjective variables I often tell people to look after in order to improve. And more importantly, the more variables you have for progression, the more of an opportunity you have to keep moving forward. Otherwise, if you're only progressing through 1 or 2 variables, you're going to plateau faster, you're going to plateau for longer periods of time, and you're playing that coveted chicken race with how much stress and abuse your body can handle before you eventually break. So thank you very much for watching. Love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments section, and I'll talk to you next time. Be fit and live free.